All right. Hello, everyone. Today, I am so excited to chat with Fanny, who is not only a dear friend, but also a recent grad of my Career Shakeup program. Fanny came to me after taking a career break, I think about 3 to 4 years, right? Was it four
Yeah,
years? Yeah.
4 years.
Yep. Unsure of what was next. And now she is successfully pivoted into a new industry with the role that gives her purpose and flexibility. Today, we're going to dive into her journey. I'm so excited about that. And we're going to be talking about what brought her to this point, what she learned along the way, and how she made it happen for her and her family. So, Fanny, I want to start from the beginning. First, introduce yourself. Tell us where you're from.
Thank you. I currently live in Houston, Texas, but I'm from New York. And let's see, I did take a 4-year career break after being a financial executive for over 20 years. I had to just take a pause to spend time, with my family and kind of just kind of pause, and
Yeah.
enjoy it.
And you did.
Um,
I mean, your children are beautiful. God bless them. Yeah. And so, all right, awesome. So take us back to like when you first started thinking about returning to work. Because I know when we first spoke, you had been thinking about it for a little bit, talking about it with your family, and you had some concerns. So, thinking back to then, like, what were your biggest concerns and hesitations about making this transition and going back to work?
um, for me, I always had planned to return to work when my youngest was in kindergarten. And when she got to kindergarten, I decided to just, defer that to when she graduated kindergarten. But when it was time, it was just truly time to start thinking about returning to the workforce. But at that time, um, it was very hard because I needed to kind of learn again how to interview and kind of be able to modernize my resume and learn LinkedIn. Uh,
Yeah.
whereas, I was with the previous financial company for over 15 years. So the last time I interviewed was 20 years,
Yeah, yeah.
ago. So I needed help with updating my resume, learning LinkedIn, and also if I was to change my career path, just the guidance of how I can better position myself to be able
Yeah.
to get that job.
Yeah, yeah. And you had some concerns too about being able to navigate your schedule with your family. You had your kids, taking them to school. So those were some of the things like you had your non-negotiables too that you were like, can I even obtain them? Like I'm worried that, I'm not going to be able to be present for my kids if I go back to work. I remember that also that, you had shared that with me. So, what made you decide to work with us specifically, with this program? And what were some of the biggest insights or breakthroughs that you had along the way? Because, we were working together for about, 3 to 4 months.
Um, I think like it all started with a referral. A good friend of mine, when she learned that I was gonna start looking, had asked me, "Have you considered Bonnie? Like, you considered reaching out? Like, this is her specialty and her expertise." And I did just that. I also
Yeah,
went to that friend that, that planted that seed. And I think like just having that initial conversation, I still remember, with Bonnie when I was just connecting to learn more about the program and to see if this is something that she can help me with. She said something that was very powerful to me that day, and it was, um, just because you took 4 years break, it doesn't mean that it erases 20 years of experience,
yeah,
like, and it made sense to me because for that, I think as a mom at that time, and if I did not connect with Bonnie, I probably wouldn't have had that confidence to believe in myself. And also, I probably would have settled for something that would just work with my lifestyle, meaning I
Mhm.
probably would have settled for less.
Right.
And with her saying that, and she's right, just because I took a break, it doesn't mean that it erases all my experience. I was
Yeah.
able to, I remember I was able to use that confidence and exactly that, during my interviewing process,
Mhm.
which allowed for them to know my true value. And I think that was that one thing that I took was just the confidence. You want that confidence and it helps to get that support.
Yeah, yeah. It's so good because confidence is a big thing in the job search. Many people lack it and then they question how come they're not getting the traction that they want. But when you're confident in what you do bring to the table and you're prepared, I mean, that's a game changer, right? Like just
Oh, yeah.
being able to know that you have what it takes to do the work with in the positions that you're applying for. But tell us about that a little bit more. Like, tell us about that moment when things started to click for you, like when you felt confident about your next step, what did that feel like?
Um, I mean, just in general, what I just said, I think having that conversation and feeling that confidence, you know, I felt like, this was something that was achievable. It was, I think what hindered me was the fear of change.
Mhm.
I was very comfortable with my lifestyle, being home with my children. I was definitely afraid of the uncertainty of what a new position will bring in terms of what the demands may be and how it will impact my routine and my lifestyle with my children. Um, I mean, there were probably 2 points that the breakthroughs that I have, 2 that I can remember vividly. And one was, utilizing one of the career coaches that were in the program. And when Rich Bruno kind of said to me, Fanny, he told me, you just got to take that leap.
Mhm.
People in general just fear change,
Mhm.
they don't want to make that move, but you just got to do it and see and let it happen and just see what will happen.
Yeah.
And my biggest fear was like, what if I find it, what if I start interviewing and I get a job immediately? What am I going to do with my children?
Right, because they weren't
So,
back to
yeah,
school. So yeah.
so it hindered me from moving forward.
Yeah,
It was
it's interesting, right? How we have these little thoughts that come to us that try to take us back, and they don't give us the motivation to move forward, right? And so you were battling like all these little critics and demons going on in your head, like what if this, what if that? But through coaching, you can move past that, right? That's what's so amazing about the community and the people that are here because these demons will set you back. I mean, this inner critic that we have in us. And it's so important that if you don't move forward and keep the momentum going, yeah, you very well can put yourself in a position where you are losing out on opportunities, but you went with it. You showed up strong on LinkedIn. I know that was also something that was new for you. You were like, I haven't been on there forever. How do I even start networking and start telling people that I'm back in the market? I remember that as well. And you did it. And through your networking and your strategies, I mean, you were able to get interviews and here you are now.
and
You
and I'm gonna have to add too is that like through your process, and I remember it just started with share what you're looking for, share your negotiables, share your non-negotiables with your friends, with your network. And the position that I have now was a phone call from a friend in June that asked me, are you still looking?
Mhm.
Because she heard and she saw an opportunity where she was that aligned with what I wanted. And
Yeah.
that's something I reflect back as you said that really helped me with my process.
Oh.
And that was exactly the phone call came after Rich Bruno said what he said. Exactly a week, I got that phone call, and then I was employed by the Monday after my kids all started school. So
Yeah, yeah. It was like all aligned. Everything that you wanted that you had set forth, has happened and it's continued to happen, right? So, but the amazing part is that you've pivoted into a completely new industry. You were looking for flexibility to be able to, you know, um, still be present for your children and travel, and you've achieved all of that. And I'm so happy for you, number one. And this is important for other moms who are taking a break and they're considering going back, and they have a lot of fear and doubt about the opportunities available for them and what this process would look like, and they're confused about what to put on their resume during that gap, and there's just right so many questions that come up. So what advice would you give to other moms, who, or even if they didn't take a break to take care of their children, maybe they had to take a break to take care of their parents, or they had to take a break for other reasons, right? I mean, this is part of life and it happens to many of us. So what advice would you give to other professionals thinking about making a career change and, going into something new after taking a break?
I think is to be patient, just be patient with the process. Take the time to find out what brings you joy. And definitely, I believe that everything just works out if you have the support and if you have the resources. And that's something I definitely got from Bonnie's program. Um, and then the other thing is that what I really had thought that made a true, I think, impact in my life was learning my own communication style. And that's something that I didn't even know about until I joined the program. And learning my own communication style and how other people's communicate allowed for me to be able and ready, as I am, entering a new career and position, work nicely
Yeah.
and work effectively and have good relationships with the people that I work with, and being able to um, determine the different lifestyle, not lifestyle, the different communication style. It helps me be able to adapt to different people that I collaborate and support. And I
Yeah.
think that has made a true difference and is going to help me become even more successful in what I do. And I owe it to this program as well.
That is so good. Thank you so much. Yeah, it was definitely more than just finding a job. It was about setting you up for success for the long term in that specific job. That's so good. Thank you so much for sharing your story.
No, you're welcome.
Congratulations. I'm so happy for you.
Thank you.